LoreWarrior vehicles, Routemaster Shuttle / Lewis Skimmer bus. Employed as part of an integrated metropolitan transport system, hover shuttles operate exclusively on dedicated roadways or reserved lanes on public highways. Free from the curse of congestion, the hover shuttle can achieve great speeds as it transports passengers from point to point. Far easier and cheaper to construct and maintain than an equivalent rail system, the hover shuttle concept has proven an attractive solution to the problems of urban traffic. Most hover shuttles carry a human operator, but a number of automated systems, most notably the networks in Geneva on Terra and that of Avalon City, operate autonomously under a centralized computer control system. Manufactured by the Civilian Vehicles Division of Defiance Industries since 2770, the Routemaster hover shuttle is a typical example of this class of vehicle. With capacity to carry 14 passengers and a modest volume of luggage, the vehicle can travel at speeds in excess of 150 kph under the guidance of a single operator. The ubiquitous red Routemasters of Tharkad have become a much-loved part of the city's landscape, so much so that when Archon Catherine Steiner Davian moved to have the fleet repainted in Steiner blue, she was forced to abandon the plan in the face of a groundswell of public opposition. Hover vehicles are also an effective solution to the problems posed by the need for heavy transport. The cost of laying down a robust roadbed that can survive incessant use by heavy vehicles is often prohibitive. However, hover vehicles generate very low ground pressure in relation to their mass and can even use local waterways. A stunning array of passenger and cargo skimmers can be found across the entire inner sphere. Following the success of their Savannah Master hovercraft, SL Lewis Incorporated branched out into the civilian vehicle market. Their popular Lewis Skimmer bus is powered by a clean and efficient hydrogen fuel cell. With capacity for 86 passengers and an impressive 18 ton of cargo, the Skimmer bus is an affordable alternative to air travel over short and intermediate distances. A 3-man crew consisting of driver and 2 stewards can be augmented with 1 or more plainclothes transport police amongst passengers, especially if a particularly valuable cargo is being carried. On occasion, vehicles like the Lewis have been pressed into service in the role of infantry transport. As the Third Succession War sputtered to an end, Steiner commanders defending Severin used local skimmer buses to ferry their troops to and from the front line, freeing up their dwindling APC complement to support more offensive operations. So we have 2 stat blocks here. The first is the Routemaster hover shuttle. The chassis is a small hover vehicle. Its mass is 3,800 kilograms. It has a cruise of 9 and a flank of 14, and has 495 kilometers of petrochemical fuel. It has 1 armor across all sides, front and rear, and it has 85 kilograms of standard cargo and 2 doors, 1 on each side, and features 14 crew and passengers. Whereas the Lewis Skimmer bus is 80 tons and is considered a large hovercraft, it has a cruise of 6 and a flank of 9, and has armor of 11 on the front, 9 on the sides, and 10 on the rear. A crew of 3 with 18 tons of standard cargo, and has 86 passengers, and crew and seats, about 6.5 tons worth of seating. Nice to see things like this added. Obviously, again, something as humble and as menial as a bus is still a pretty cool thing to see. What does a bus in Battletech look like? Now we have a rough idea, but I guess really any kind of vaguely bus-looking vehicle that you could find in artwork, or hell, if you don't mind doing things like AI art generation, means that you've got a basis for what a inner sphere bus would look like. I'm assuming a clan version would be better, have better range and a higher heat dissipation, but anyway. It's a cool little vehicle to see, and it's also one of those things. I imagine that if you're playing like long campaigns running as like mercenaries, you now have actually probably a cheaper option to some other things like APCs for your infantry complement, getting them to and from places, or when there's a downtime and you don't necessarily need some kind of armoured transport to get troops from one, say, garrison site to another. You could probably buy one of these buses, second-hand, third-hand, maybe even brand new from a manufacturer, and you could have, the Lewis Skimmer bus type design to ferry your troops around. It's probably a hell of a lot cheaper than it is to use, as I said, more military vehicles. Obviously, as the downside is it's not a military vehicle, but at least there's that going for it. That's kind of cool. Yeah, also the Routemaster is clearly, obviously, a bit of a nod to London Red buses and all that kind of thing. Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, although they're not double decker, which I'm surprised about. It's like, for that, it's got to be a double decker if you're going to mention red buses. Double decker hover bus does sound like the kind of thing that if the wind catches it right, it's going to tip over, which would be kind of amusing. But yeah, that's it. That's more of the old vehicle annex. So have a good one, everybody. Thanks for listening as always. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.